Grub Smith, you have been challenged. You will go to Germany.
Rioter!
There you will be given 5 tasks. Should you fail one of these tasks, we will make you do something really horrid.
Oh, no, come on. Did you ever sleep with one of the Beatles?
The more you fail, the more unpleasant it will become. You have 5 days.
You don't look like a German.
Let's go! Day 1, I'm in Berlin and I'm at Germany's most popular ever museum exhibition, which rather worryingly seems to feature real human beings who've been skinned and turned into art. Here's a bloke who looks as though he's been turned into a chest of drawers. Sure, he can't have mentioned that in his will. I'm looking for my fixer. He's a guy named Alex, that's all I know. He's tall, he's blonde, that won't exactly narrow it down in Germany, and he's going to be holding an envelope which has got my first challenge in it. There he is. Alex?
Yes. Grub?
Challenge 1. Have a sing-song with a skinhead.
Losing the war obviously hasn't put Germans off fascism. In fact, the far right is thriving, and having short hair is a political statement, not a tribute to David Beckham.
Here's our trim.
It was the May Day bank
15.
holiday. But instead of taking a nice trip to the seaside, the neo-Nazis were having a rally. As a natural coward, I'd worn my Fred Perry t-shirt in an attempt to fit in with them. They didn't seem too friendly, but there were certainly plenty around to have a sing-song with. We got as far as we could on the tram until we reached the police roadblocks. Then we carried on by foot.
We've just met one of the organisers of the NPD rally. That's the National Party of Democracy. To you and me, neo-Nazis, although he's fervently denied that. And he's a bit frightened to go to his own march because apparently the left-wingers made him a marked man. He's brought some security with him.
Maybe he could help me organise some singing.
Will there be a party tonight?
No party.
No music? Will you know anybody else who is an organiser who may be able to help us? We're not political, we just want to do sing-song.
The police had brought out all their toys to keep control. I was beginning to realise just how dangerous these skinheads were. Mind you, some people were a lot braver than I was.
Alarming number of children on bicycles. What the hell are they doing here?
There was a large turnout of left-wing hecklers who used a variety of hand gestures to let the fascists know how popular they were. Not surprisingly, the cops had formed a line to keep them apart. And there they were, the skinheads. What a handsome bunch. Encouragingly, though, they were already showing a lot of promise when it came to chanting, mostly about what a misunderstood chap Hitler was.
The skinheads and the NPD are now marching past. There's quite a nasty atmosphere in the air. It's quite early in the day. I'm sure it's going to get worse. The tannoy system there is saying, foreigners out, Germany for the Germans. Just listening to that voice takes me back to Nuremberg about 50 years ago. Heinrich! They're quite well organised. They've got little guys with armbands on. Again, that goes back a bit. And they seem to be keeping them in order as well as the cops. Got to say, they're not going to win any beauty contests, the skinheads. Really quite ugly people.
My fixer Alex went into the crowd to recruit some choristers.
Sorry, right. They are so aggressive. Right, yes. We beat us up. He said we can come in the middle. I put you in some parts. That's what he said to me.
How do I say, will you sing with me?
Willst du singen mit mir?
Wilt du singen mit mir? Entschuldigen, mein Herr. English. Wilt... Nein. Nein. Excuse me, fellas. Entschuldigen. Can we have a sing-song? No? Sing-song? Singer, is it in German? You speak English a little? Sing is singer?
No comment.
Oh, no comment. Singing. Thank you. I got a very mean stare from a man with one eyebrow. And I mean one all the way across, not just one in a nasty shaving accident. They're not a singing crowd. Willst du singen mit mir? No? OK, apparently not. The Nazis have got a plan, and it doesn't involve singing with Smith. More's the pity. One of the most dispiriting things about trying to get the Nazis to sing with me is that they won't even say no. They just give me a look. They're just memorising my face for later.
The march was going to end near the train station, and in order to avoid a carriage full of aggressive skinheads, we just managed to stay ahead of the police cordon.
It's like the last helicopter out of Saigon. It's the last train out of skinheads. I'm breathing a big sigh of relief. Haven't got them to sing with me yet, but I will.
So I decided to get on with the next challenge.
Challenge 2. Climb over the Berlin Wall.
Alex took me to his car, an original East German Trabant, possibly the most crap automobile ever invented. Unfortunately, the communists were a lot better at building walls. Most of this one came down in 1989, but Berlin has left a 2-mile stretch standing as a memorial to those who died trying to escape to the west. Now it's covered in art, or really crap graffiti, depending on your tastes. Alex had cleverly brought a ladder, but we seemed to have a problem with scale.
That is absurd. That's like a little sort of DIY ladder.
Fortunately, just the other side of the wall there was a building site, so we went off to blag a bigger ladder.
Right, you hold this set.
I hold you.
Okay.
Originally, there were 66 miles of this wall completely surrounding West Berlin, making it a capitalist island 200 miles inside enemy territory. But the East Germans trying to flee to the west didn't just have to get over this wall. There were also 200 metres of no man's land, with armed guards, tripwires, landmines and attack dogs. With my tubby, unathletic build and my fear of heights, I think it's safe to say I'd have been machine gun fodder pretty early. And even if the guards had been distracted by the cartoon section of Pravda while I was climbing up, they'd certainly have got me on the way down. Well, it was very high up. I was frightened. I could have twisted an ankle.
Well done, Alex. Thanks a lot.
Man, you're free. You're free.
That is terrible. I'm over the wall, but I'm not out of the woods.
Challenge 3. Read a peace poem in a riot.
So I'd passed one challenge. Just the 4 more to go to avoid a nasty forfeit. And as luck would have it, a riot was due that very evening. So I went back to my hotel room to write my poem. There have been huge anarchist protests in Berlin for the last 14 years, so I was guaranteed a good audience.
Fucking hell, it's getting noisy out there.
I set off for the riot, but everywhere we went there were roadblocks stopping us getting to the action. In the end, we dumped the car.
It's actually quite hard to find a riot. Even though there was a map in the paper, they don't seem to be sticking in one place. So I've decided my best policy is to follow the sirens and the flashing blue lights, see whether we can't get caught up in something quite soon. Hi there. You speak English a little?
Yes, a little bit.
A little bit. We're looking for the riots. English press. Where should we go?
You have to go along the street.
There you go. Always ask a policeman if you want to know the way. Which way is the riot?
I think it's finished already.
Really?
The hard raids are already finished,
Oh,
I
that's
think.
very early.
This was bad news. Was I too late to pass my challenge?
We've now pretty much gone past police lines, so we're entering the sort of no man's territory. This is where the riot was. Might be a few stragglers who I can read my peace poem to. Ow, fuck! Ow! Just stubbed my toe on a piece of cobble that's been hurled by a rioter. Ow, for fuck's
Now we were getting to the heart of it. The rioters' cobblestone missiles lay everywhere amid shards of broken glass. It seemed pretty safe, but I soon got an idea of their depravity.
The only victim I've managed to find of the rioting so far is this Portaloo. Looks like the TARDIS after it's been thrashed to bits by the Daleks. If they can do that to a toilet, just imagine what they can do to a man.
I really wanted to have an audience for my reading, so I kept looking for the rioters. There was a crowd hanging out on a street corner. I asked them if they'd like to hear my poem.
What? I don't speak German.
Ne karışma ya?
I don't speak German. Is he unhappy?
30 kişiden benim tek, ne yapacağım?
What? Okay. Thank you, fellas. Good night. Thank you.
They were obviously Philistines who wouldn't appreciate my delicate stanzas, so my search continued. Suddenly, I saw a more suitable audience.
Quite nervous. Hope they respond to poetry. This is a poem which I'm hoping will be more effective than water cannons and baton charges. Bring a little peace to Berlin. Rioter! Can't you be a little quieter? No, probably not. Skinhead! Can't you be a nice guy instead? No, probably not. And policeman! Can't you spread some love and peace, man? Because Germans, all you Jürgens, Fritzes and Hermans, violence leads to world wars. And are you going to win one? No, probably not. Thank you.
Challenge 4. Find someone who has slept with a beetle.
For my next challenge, I had to find someone who'd slept with a beetle, so we headed down the Autobahn to Hamburg. It was here in the early 1960s that the Fab Four first developed their stage act and ridiculous pudding bowl haircuts. Their groupies would all be pensioners now, of course, but surely I'd find one old lady happy to boast about shagging a rock star. Unless it was Ringo, obviously. Anyway, the omens were good on the music front because Alex had managed to find a skinhead band who were willing to meet up with us. Even better, they were devout Christians, so they probably wouldn't want to beat me up first.
And now, for your listening pleasure, I present Grub Smith and the Jesus Skins with their own composition, Oi Oi Amen.
Oi, 2, 3, 4!
Oi Oi Amen!
Singen wir im Chor, wir sind Jesus Skins, dass mal keiner etwas vor.
Oi Oi Amen!
Singen wir im Chor, wir sind Jesus Skins, dass mal keiner etwas vor.
Oi Oi Amen!
Singen wir im Chor, wir sind Jesus Skins, dass mal keiner etwas vor.
Thank you very much, the Jesus Skins.
Nice, but now it was time to get down to business.
We're trying to find someone, a lady who had a romance, had sex with the Beatles when they were in Hamburg. Maybe some of your mother's friends? No? Okay. None of your wife's friends ever slept with Paul McCartney? No,
I didn't.
No, you didn't. Possibly your mum or any of her friends? Someone who had sex with the Beatles? Possibly your mother. Waren Sie ein Beatle zusammen?
You speak English? Did you shag Paul McCartney? No? Okay. No one was admitting anything, except for trying to prove that they hadn't been in the Gestapo.
From 8th Army.
From the 8th Army?
Yeah, 8th Army in Italy.
In Italy? Can I see
In
you?
Monte Cassino.
Good Lord, splendid picture.
Yeah, goodbye.
The Beatles were clearly still popular in Hamburg, so we carried on trawling through the red light district in search of pensioners.
And we're trying to find a lady who had a romance with the Beatles.
Do you know any girl who had sex with John or Paul or George or...
Here,
Yeah.
I am sex with John.
You had sex with John?
No.
No, but do you know any... You see, I thought I'd scooped it there.
After a hard night's work with no success, we got up early to continue our quest. Very early. Time was running out, so we decided to change tactics.
We've had absolutely no luck with pedestrians. They're denying all knowledge of the Beatles, especially biblical knowledge. So we're going to go into Hit Fun FM, where apparently they've got some oldie specialists.
They also had their own Beatles tribute band.
Person who knows all about Sergeant Pfeffer's Fun Band. We're from British television.
We tried to persuade someone to help us track down Sergeant Pfeffer himself.
We're doing a gig.
Wann bist du wieder im Sender?
It's the lead singer of the Fun Band on the phone.
What a result.
Fantastic.
Oh, der
acoustic.
The Beatles, without facial hair or LSD, but just as good. Sergeant Pfeffer. Fantastic. I'm going to shake your hands.
We are 3 normal Beatles. We are 3 normal Beatles.
3 normal Beatles.
That's
Now,
our real name.
I get a kiss from you.
Oh, yes.
Because in case I don't find someone who's had sex with the Beatles, you and I have to make love.
Okay. Now?
Later.
Okay.
Well, no kisses. Thanks very much, fellas. You're obviously Beatles fans.
Yes, yes.
Have you ever run across anyone who perhaps had sex with one of the Beatles?
Really?
It was from the Blockhütte, yeah? Rosie.
Rosie from the Blockhead.
She had a liaison with Paul because she made all the steaks for him, and he had only a liaison with her because the other Beatles could get steaks for free.
So he sold his body for steak.
True. Yes. Yes.
And is Rosie still in Hamburg?
Rosie's still here.
There you find Rosie's place. If you ask there, everybody knows that place.
Beautiful.
By Rosie?
Bei Rosie. Hanni, wo ist bei Rosie? Rosie's Bar. Rosie's Bar gibt es, aber bei Rosie, da ist Rosie's Bar.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You said by Rosie.
Here it is. By Rosie's Bar. Let's see whether Rosie's in and whether she'll speak to us. It's closed at the moment. I'm going to ask.
The bar was closed, but a workman opened the door.
Well, Rosie isn't here apparently, but it looks as though we're being invited to sit down and wait, which is again a promising sign. We might finally fulfil the challenge.
He tried to reach Rosie, but unfortunately she was out shopping and there was nothing we could do but wait.
We are so near and yet so far. We're actually in Rosie's Bar. She's the person who's alleged to have swapped sex for steak with Paul McCartney. I like to think that Paul McCartney and the boys probably came here, played a little gig in the corner. Perhaps it was at this very ashtray here that Paul stared into the big weird mirror and thought, I am the walrus.
At last she agreed to meet us, but would she admit to shagging Paul?
Ah, Rosie, fantastic. How do you do?
Fine, nice, thank you. Yeah.
Perfect English. I understand that you might have had a little fling with Paul McCartney.
No, I used to be married to Tony Sheridan.
Ah, I was so hoping that you would have had just a one-night fling.
No, not at all.
Bad news, but she did confess to sharing a room with the band.
Yes. I'm fascinated by the idea of you actually being in the bunk bed.
Yeah.
With a Beatle underneath you and one on the other side of the same room.
Yeah.
John.
Yeah, no, on the other side there was Paul McCartney in one bed, and George and John were sleeping opposite our bed.
This is in one room?
Of course, one little room.
There we go. She's just admitted that she was in the top bunk making love with her then boyfriend. Underneath was Pete Best, one of the Beatles. Therefore, she has slept with one of the Beatles. Task completed.
Challenge 5. Beat a German at penalties.
We headed off to the home ground of St Pauli, the German equivalent of, say, Crystal Palace.
I have to beat a German at penalties in football, because Germany always beats England. 1996, not your fault. Speak English?
Promisingly, my opponent had been propping up the bar for an hour.
OK, here we are at St Pauli Stadium. We're actually going out onto the turf of a team who are going to be playing in the Bundesliga next season. I'm taking on Mick, who plays for St Pauli third team. He's a striker, so he probably might put a few past me, but I'm confident there'll be a stroke it past him when he's in goal. Clumsy man. OK, let's do it.
Okay.
This is the real deal. England v Germany at penalties. 1990, they beat us in Italy. 1996, they beat us in the European Championships. But that is not going to happen today, my friends, because I'm taking Mick on. Oh, he saved it. He went the right way. I can't believe it. I thought I'd sold him a dummy. Quite a good penalty. I'm not ashamed of that. OK, Mick to reply for Germany. I guessed right, but he hit it with too much power and accuracy. I'd defy any goalkeeper alive to stop that one. 1-0 down. Slight psychological advantage to Germany. England must reply. He saved it again! I cannot believe this keeper. He's fantastic. There's no way he's a striker. That was there. Perfect height for a penalty.
Oh, fuck, I thought he put it over. That was in? Yeah, I think so. That was good. I'm letting everyone in England down. It's a disaster. Thought it was going to be easy. The goal has never looked so small. Oh, he's missed it! I don't believe it. It's an utter humiliation. He only has to score this one and the competition is over. It's like a bad nightmare revisited. I'm going to make myself big. This to win. Oh no, he's done a muller. He's done that little chip. Oh no. There we go. It's happened again. Germany 3, England 0. I've completely let my country down.
We're driving back to Berlin in the middle of the night and also in the middle of an incredibly violent thunderstorm. But we have to get back because I'll only have a couple of hours tomorrow morning to find a German I can beat at penalties. It's the only challenge I haven't done yet. And if I don't manage it, they're going to tell me what my forfeit is. And it's bound to be pretty unpleasant.
Sands of time are really running out on me now. I've got to find a German I can beat at penalties. Should find someone suited to my talents in here. Are you in your school football team?
No.
Okay.
All I needed was a step down in class, so I could emulate the current England team and give the Krauts a whipping. I was like Michael Owen, unbeatable. Now it was his turn. The pressure was on. If he missed this, England won.
England rejoice, let the church bells ring.
Off I went. It was time to let the whole of Berlin know who the daddy is when it comes to the beautiful game. Oh yes, Franz Beckenbauer, Otto von Bismarck, Adolf Hitler, Steffi Graf, Attila the Hun, Kaiser Wilhelm, Boris Becker, Ludwig van Beethoven, and that bird singer who had 99 red balloons. Hang your heads in shame, 'cause your boys took one hell of a beating.